There is a moment in every man's life when something inside him collapses, not visibly, not in a way the world applauds or even notices, but internally, something fractures. A belief shatters, a certainty disappears, a sense of control slips quietly out of his hands. It can come through betrayal when someone you trusted reveals a version of themselves you never expected. It can come through failure, when effort meets reality and reality does not care. Or it can come through humiliation, when the world reminds you that your position is far more fragile than you believed. And in that moment, the mind begins to react in a predictable way. It looks for comfort. It searches for explanation. It tries to repair the illusion that everything is still under control. But Machiavelli would say something very different about this moment. He would not call it misfortune. He would call it exposure. Because when life breaks you, it does not destroy your strength. It reveals how much of it you actually had. Most people misunderstand mental strength. They think it is something you use when everything is going well. They think it is confidence, motivation, positive thinking. But those things require no real strength. They exist comfortably when conditions are stable. Real mental strength only becomes visible when stability disappears, when the outcome is uncertain, when emotions are heavy, when the environment becomes hostile. And in those conditions, something uncomfortable becomes clear. Most people are not as strong as they believed, because their mindset was never built for pressure. It was built for comfort. This is the illusion society quietly teaches, that you should feel good, think positively, stay motivated. But life does not operate according to comfort. It operates according to pressure, unpredictability, and shifting power dynamics. And if your mind is not trained for that reality, then every difficult moment becomes overwhelming. Every setback feels personal. Every betrayal feels like a collapse of identity. This is where Machiavelli's cold law of mental power begins. He understood something most people avoid accepting. Strength is not created in moments of peace. It is forged in moments where peace is absent. And more importantly, it is not built through emotional reaction. It is built through emotional control. When life breaks you, your first instinct will always be emotional. Anger, frustration, sadness, confusion. These reactions are natural, but they are also dangerous if left uncontrolled. Because the moment you allow those emotions to dictate your behavior, you lose something far more valuable than the situation itself. You lose control. And control is the foundation of power. Think about how most people behave when they are under pressure. They react quickly. They speak impulsively. They make decisions based on how they feel in that moment, rather than what will benefit them long term. And every one of those reactions reveals something. It reveals where they are weak. It reveals what triggers them. It reveals how easily they can be influenced. This is why Machiavelli never focused on eliminating emotion. He focused on mastering it. Because the man who feels but does not react blindly becomes extremely difficult to control. And that is the first shift you must make if you want to train your mind to be strong when life breaks you. You must stop seeing emotional pain as something to escape and start seeing it as information. Information about your limits. Information about your vulnerabilities. Information about where your mind is not yet disciplined. Most people try to escape discomfort. They distract themselves, blame others, or search for immediate relief. But every time you escape, you lose an opportunity. The opportunity to understand how your mind behaves under pressure. And without that understanding, you remain predictable. And predictability is weakness. Strategic individuals do something very different. When discomfort appears, they slow down instead of speeding up. They observe instead of reacting. They ask questions most people never ask. Why does this affect me this way? What exactly is being threatened right now? Is it my position, my ego, my expectation? or my control? These questions shift your mindset from reaction to analysis, and analysis creates distance. That distance is critical because it allows you to see the situation clearly rather than through emotional distortion. And clarity is power. Once you begin operating from clarity, something changes in how you experience difficult moments. They stop feeling like chaos and start revealing structure. You begin noticing patterns in how people behave. You see how pressure changes interactions. You recognize how quickly alliances shift when advantage changes. And most importantly, you begin understanding that what feels personal is often simply structural. This realization removes a significant amount of emotional weight, because when you stop taking everything personally, you stop reacting impulsively. And when you stop reacting impulsively, you regain control. But this is only the beginning, because the real transformation happens when you stop trying to avoid being broken and start preparing for it. This idea may sound harsh, but it is realistic. Life will break you at some point. That is not pessimism. That is pattern recognition. The question is not whether it will happen. The question is whether your mind will be prepared when it does. Most people are not prepared. They build their identity around stability, around relationships, achievements, or external validation. And when those things collapse, their identity collapses with them. This is why failure feels so devastating. It is not just about the event itself. It is about what that event threatens. It threatens who you believe you are. Machiavelli would argue that this is a dangerous way to build identity, because anything that depends on external conditions is unstable. Instead, he would suggest anchoring your identity internally, not in outcomes, not in people, not in approval, but in something that cannot be easily taken away. Discipline. The ability to control your actions regardless of how you feel. The ability to think clearly when others lose clarity. The ability to remain composed when situations become unpredictable. When your identity is built on discipline, something powerful happens. You stop fearing situations that would normally break you, because your stability no longer depends on them. You can lose position, opportunity, or approval without losing yourself. And that is where mental power begins. Because the man who cannot be destabilized emotionally becomes extremely difficult to defeat psychologically. But achieving this state requires something most people resist: repetition under discomfort. You cannot train your mind in theory. You train it in moments where it wants to escape. When you feel pressure, that is the moment to practice control. When you feel anger, that is the moment to practice restraint. When you feel uncertainty, that is the moment to practice clarity. Each of these moments becomes a form of training, and over time, something changes. What once felt overwhelming begins to feel manageable. What once triggered reaction begins to create observation. What once broke you begins to strengthen you. This is not because life becomes easier. It is because you become more prepared. And preparation changes everything. As this discipline develops, you begin to notice something subtle but powerful. The same situations that once caused emotional chaos no longer have the same effect. Not because they disappeared, but because your relationship with them has changed. You no longer approach difficulty with resistance. You approach it with awareness. And that awareness creates a form of mental distance that most people never experience. This distance allows you to see something most individuals miss when they are overwhelmed. Every situation contains leverage, even the ones that appear purely negative. When life breaks you, it forces you into a position where illusions disappear. You see people more clearly. You see yourself more honestly. You see how fragile certain structures in your life actually were. And while most people interpret this clarity as pain, strategic individuals interpret it as advantage, because clarity removes deception. And once deception is removed, you can make better decisions. For example, when someone betrays you, The immediate reaction is emotional: anger, disappointment, confusion. But beneath that reaction lies something valuable: information about that person's nature, information that you would not have seen under normal conditions. And once you have that information, you can adjust your behavior accordingly. But if you react emotionally, you miss that opportunity. You focus on the feeling instead of the insight. And this is the difference between those who remain broken and those who become stronger. One reacts, the other learns. Machiavelli understood that human behavior follows patterns, not perfectly, but consistently enough to be studied. People reveal themselves under pressure. They show their priorities when faced with difficult choices. They expose their intentions when their interests are threatened. And once you begin observing these patterns instead of reacting to them, you gain something extremely valuable: predictive awareness. You start anticipating behavior instead of being surprised by it. You recognize manipulation before it fully develops. You see weakness where others see confidence. And this awareness allows you to position yourself more strategically in every environment you enter. But there is another layer to this. Because training your mind is not only about understanding others, it is about understanding yourself, your own patterns, your own reactions, your own weaknesses. Because the same moments that reveal others also reveal you. When life breaks you, it exposes where you are still emotionally dependent, where your expectations are unrealistic, where your control is incomplete. And if you are willing to observe yourself with the same level of honesty you apply to others, you begin identifying areas that need development. This is uncomfortable, but it is necessary. Because without this level of self-awareness, growth becomes impossible. You simply repeat the same patterns in different situations, and repetition without awareness leads to stagnation. But once awareness is present, change becomes possible. You begin adjusting how you respond to pressure. You begin controlling your impulses instead of obeying them. You begin choosing your reactions instead of defaulting to them. And over time, this creates something most people never achieve: consistency under pressure. This consistency is what people recognize as strength, not loud confidence, not aggressive dominance, but quiet control. The ability to remain stable when others become unstable. The ability to think clearly when others become emotional. The ability to act deliberately when others act impulsively. And this kind of strength changes how others interact with you. Because people instinctively test boundaries. They observe reactions. They look for signals that reveal how you can be influenced. But when those signals are controlled, when reactions are not easily triggered, something changes. They hesitate. They become cautious. Because they cannot predict you. And unpredictability, when combined with control, creates power. But perhaps the most important transformation is internal. You stop fearing difficult moments, not because you enjoy them, but because you understand them. You know that they are temporary. You know that they reveal more than they destroy. And you know that your response to them matters more than the situation itself. This creates a sense of stability that does not depend on external conditions. And once you reach that point, life feels different. Not easier, but clearer. You no longer chase comfort. You build control. You no longer avoid pressure. You use it. You no longer fear being broken. Because you understand that every time you are tested, you have an opportunity to become more disciplined, more aware, and more difficult to destabilize. And that is the essence of Machiavelli's cold law of mental power. Strength is not about avoiding hardship. It is about remaining controlled within it. So the next time life breaks you, pause. Do not react immediately. Observe. Analyze. Ask yourself what this moment is revealing. About the situation, about others, and most importantly, about you. Because in that moment, you are being given something most people waste. A chance to train your mind where it matters most. And if you use that chance correctly, You will not just recover. You will become someone who is far harder to break again. If this perspective made you see strength differently, stay connected. Because here, we don't chase comfort. We build control. And before you leave, think about this carefully. The last time life broke you, did it make you weaker? Or did it show you exactly where you needed to become stronger?